The formal definition of aquascaping can be seen as arranging aquatic plants in an aesthetically pleasing manner in conjunction with other materials ranging from rocks and stones to driftwood. Aquascaping at its core is essentially gardening underwater. Inspiration for many works come from both underwater locations, but also natural scenes such as mountains, jungles, deserts, and waterfalls, and many others. Aquascaping designs generally revolve around a few distinctive styles. The Dutch style, which emulates a traditional dryland garden. The Japanese style, which focuses more on being very natural. And the jungle style, which is a mixture of both the Dutch and Japanese styles. It is possible, however, to create an aquascape with no plants and just rocks, or vice versa.
Dutch-style aquascaping is a treasured art and hobby that dates back to approximately the 20th century, originating in Holland. It is known for its diverse colors, patterns, and focal points. Dutch styles are traditionally planted in fresh water and characterized by a few specific qualities. One characteristic of this style is the rule of thirds, which involves dividing the tank into thirds and highlighting different sections using rocks, wood, red plants, or even large plants. Another distinctive characteristic about Dutch aquascaping is the use of low-growing plants such as Lobelia cardinalis. These particular plants are used to heighten the sense of depth of field. Dutch aquariums are an older form of today's appreciated aquascaping pieces. However, some traditional aquascaping techniques are still used today, especially in competition. Despite this being such an old art form, it is still celebrated around the world today.
The Japanese, or nature style, known as iwagami, is a type of aquascaping that uses stone to provide structure to the garden. It was first introduced in the 1980s by Takashi Amano to Japan and incorporates many of the Buddhist ideals, such as minimalism and serenity. The theory is that if the stones are well placed, the rest of the garden will lay itself out. The main goal is to create a natural landscape on a miniature scale. Mountainscapes are some of the most common landscapes depicted, and an uneven amount of rocks is preferred because it prevents a symmetrical split that is not naturalistic. Although it aims for an organic look, it uses a very structured plan. There are many types of iwagami styles, including Sansen, Oishi, Bakuishi, Soishi, and Tsutaishi. They differ in number of rocks, placement of rocks, and sizing. Jungle style is a name used by some to describe a more untamed style of aquascaping, while incorporating a mixture of Dutch and nature styles. Coarser and broader leaves are used to provide a wild appearance.
Unlike traditional aquascapes, which are freshwater-based, the saltwater reef aquascapes generally impersonate an actual saltwater reef. Not many ornamental plants can be grown in the saltwater setting. A particularly important role in the reef aquascape is lighting. Many corals contain symbiotic fluorescent algae-like protozoa. Providing intense lighting supplement in the ultraviolet wavelengths not only supports the health of these invertebrates but also elicits bright colors emitting from the fluorescent microorganisms. Biotopes aim to replicate aquatic habitats at particular geographic locations and do not necessarily provide a garden-like display. Plants and fish do not even need to be present in a biotope, but if they are, they must match what would be found in a natural habitat being represented. A polyidarium is an aquascape style in which part of the aquarium is below the water and part of it is above. This setup allows for plant species that grow their best with their roots completely submerged in water and their tops exposed to air to thrive. Floating plants can also take advantage in the polyidarium configuration. The flora best suited for polyidariums include plant life that thrive in humid environments or wetlands. The water-filled portion can support many aquatic species of plants as well. One of the defining features of a polyidarium is that animals can be supported in the enclosed ecosystem. There are many aquascaping hobbyist contests held around the world. These contests are extremely competitive. Here are some of the judging criteria for the contests. Maintenance of these landscapes takes a lot of hard work. Unlike in typical gardens that are exposed to the elements of nature, aquascapes require many factors to be balanced in order for it to survive in the closed system. The factors include filtration, maintaining carbon dioxide at levels sufficient to support photosynthesis, lighting, and algae control.
While aquascapes may not jump to one's mind when thinking about gardening, it is truly one of the most unique forms of gardening found on the planet.
Aquascaping may not be for everyone, but it is certainly a unique form of gardening that is interesting and beautiful.